that's a triple play. New episodes, I couldn't wait. Yeah, open your mind at the first gate. Press play, no need to debate. AOA, check me out. Look, plugged in, you can catch the hype. Golden Dawn, how we follow the light. Anime like life, married to it, my wife.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages? Welcome back to the AOA show. I'm your host, as always, Ian, along with the boys Isaiah.
Oh, hi, oh.
And Gavin.
What is Gucci Shoes?
And back at you again with some more blog posts. This time we are covering episodes 279 to 286. Big shout out to all the moderators that help put together these blog posts for you to enjoy and for us to read and also enjoy. It really goes a long way, and we're excited to get into it. If you guys like the content today, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, hitting that notification bell, sharing with your friends, and commenting your thoughts down below. What did you think of these blog posts? What did you think about our read-through of them? And are you hyped for some more Tower of God? Let us know in those comments down below. But without further ado, let's get into it. We are going to start with chapter 279. Boom. So, Gavin, if you'd like to take it away for me there.
Okay. You need to get my big boy pants on.
Oh, do you want to fix that formatting so like the whole?
Absolutely. I would love to. How do I do that?
Hold on. Let me try something. Let me incorporate a secondary mousey mouse.
Boom.
Hey.
Boom.
All right, we did it.
Okay.
All right, go for it, Gavin.
Hi, this is SIU. Due to a family issue, it is difficult for me to write a long post. For those of you who were waiting, I am so sorry. This episode featured the story of Team Bam and Edon. It looks like there's a possibility where this world's Edon has a confrontation with Jahad. Big Breeder and Edon stories will probably be continued next week. Interesting. I wonder who's the new Big Breeder. I hope you will be excited about what will be the next. Also, to my dear grandmother, who has always protected me and helped me, I hope you rest in peace. I love you. I will try to come up with an interesting story and post next week as well. Please take care. I am so sorry.
Ugly cry. It's so crazy that he's been like talking about his health problems, like all of these posts, but like didn't even. I mean, not that he should or like needs to, but like, you know, just like, oh shit, his grandmother was like not well, and you know,
it's sad. Damn. Well, rest in peace to one of the instrumental women who gave us this story, really, in essence, because SIU wouldn't exist if it wasn't for his grandmother. So she is a good soul. All right. So chapter 280, we got one of the boys here.
Sensio.
I'm about that.
Yep. It's cool. All right. So I had to let my grandmother go and work on the manuscript, so I barely slept for this week. Even for people who you already know are going to pass away anytime, when the moment actually comes, it seems it's difficult to accept. But I believe that my grandmother went to a good place, and I will work even harder from now on. It is so true. It's like as you get older, I mean, like everyone's different. Everyone processes grief and emotions differently. But I know, speaking to my own personal experience, as I get older, I have to come to more of an understanding and a grip that not everything lasts forever. So it's not that it's more of trying to give, if it's an animal or if it's, if it's your family member or whatever, like trying to be there for them and do all that kind of stuff. And knowing that there is one day, so trying to prepare yourself for it. But it's like, even with that knowledge, when it inevitably does happen, it still hits like a ton of bricks, and it's awful. But it's like,
this one's really weird because I actually had like the exact same scenario. I had a grandmother who was very unwell for a very long time, and we like literally, like you said, like you're like at some point like it has to happen, but like. And it happened, and we're all like, oh, shit, like, you just can't, like, ever, like, predict how you're going to, like, what you think is not what is.
Totally agreed. Anyway, moving on here. Anyway, the world of ToG is still moving forward this week. This week, again, I showed the hidden stage and bomb alternatively. The new guy, Asensio, looks like he's telling everyone, I am a spear bearer. Up to this point, there were many unconventional characters. Rack, Ran, for the spear bearer position, so I wanted to show at least one traditional spear bearer character. It is highly possible that Asensio will appear in future episodes as well. From Bomb's side, Kun and Yu Hansung's duo is up to a crucial role. And Dorsey's arch enemy is either a pervert or not one. And what kind of guy is the new big breeder? There will be so many things awaiting you in the next episode. Since the story is proceeding with quests, it feels a little slow. For the moment, I want the readers to naturally feel like they are joining with the character's journey. Now that I have spread all of the pieces and the story is coming to the point where it will get some momentum, it is going to be more exciting for you soon, I think. That's all for today. Take care during the cold weather. I hope this week was wonderful as well. It is my wish that there will be lots of happy things for you and me. SIU.
Something else that I love about doing these blog post things is that, like, you know, for us, because we read so many of the chapters like in one sitting and, you know, virtually can, like, our perspectives on like character moments or reveals or story beats are going to be different than like most of the people who had to read this stuff like chapter by chapter, week to week. So it's cool to get these little insights because it like helps us kind of fit into the mindset of like what these chapters looked like week by week, but we're also getting SIU's perspective so that it's not just like, oh man, when I was reading this, like, I just, you know, I couldn't believe it. But it's like, you know, things when he says like, oh, the story's moving a little bit slower, but I really want to focus on quests and I want to emphasize this thing. And I don't know, there's something cool about like getting to like see where his head's at, like in the making of like a week by week.
Yeah, no, it's a good point.
All right, chapter 281. Oh, that is oh, the crew, bro. That's the boys. This year, Christmas was my deadline by coincidence, so I did a small drawing. The big breeder in today's episode, unlike Chung, looks more decent. Somewhat. The skills used by big breeder are considered omnipotent in the hidden floor. So unless you deal with the actual cause, it is pretty difficult to win against, but it looks like Team BAM handled this crisis very well this time. Villains have been continuously appearing and disappearing. It actually did not mean much whether the protagonist saved them or killed them because they're just summoned monsters. The only difference is that some of them are visually appealing and some of them are not. The last character looks like she's related to Kun. Wonder who she is. Perhaps Kun's
X.
XX? Triple X?
Whoa.
Hope you can be excited for next week as well. This week looks like it's the last episode for 2017. Wow. Flashback.
Last one back.
Yeah. Next week's episode, I'll have to say Happy New Year. Every year I always thought about my plans and how I can improve my work for the following year, but for this year, I was very concerned with the lifespan of Tower of God and whether it can be continued. The publication rights issue stressed me a lot in the beginning of this year, and with both my mind and body half gone, I had to deal with some very bad situations. There have been some serious talks about ending Tower of God as well. Because of that, the anxiety of, if I stop drawing Tower of God at some point, maybe I will never come back to it again, and it will be gone from everyone's memory, was always haunting me. So for this year, rather than criticizing myself for how many views there are, or what people's response is, I just want to pat myself of 2017 on the back and say, you did well and you did a great job. That is just so crucial for this man because I feel like he never does that. He's always like so hard on himself.
For sure.
There for me in 2017 was the year of surviving, and since I survived, I believe that the future will be better. Next year, every bad thing will be gone and only good things will happen so I can continue working with a bit more time to spare, I hope. I wish happiness to both you and Tower of God. Let good fortune and happiness fill your families and lives. Have a good holiday, week, and day. End of the year 2017 with happiness.
Hi, SIU. How you doing? My name's Ian. I come from the future. I just wanted to curb your optimism just slightly. Things are going to be great. We love you, but just don't get too. Don't.
I like how things are going to be great for us, but maybe not you. Actually, we know it's not you because it's pretty bad right now.
Just want to tell you to not work yourself too hard, and just be okay with the potential of taking a longer break. That's it. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, it's so interesting that even all the way back in 2017, he was having those like anxiety thoughts of like shit, can I continue Tower of God if I just stop? Like, will everybody forget about it? When it's like, that is, and not invalid necessarily. One of the complaints I've heard about, like, with SIU taking another hiatus and a longer hiatus is people are like, oh, it'll lose relevancy. And it's like, I'd like to think that part of what we do here and anybody who talks about Tower of God fixes that problem by keeping it in its relevant limelight. But, yeah, it's just, yeah.
I think what's more crazy is he's talking about it coming to an end sooner than later. and yet like fast forward and we're in 2021 and it's still going.
Yeah.
Like I just think that's pretty
yeah.
cool, because if you like realistically, if that was a point that he was going to come to sooner than later, it would have been in probably 19, maybe 20. I mean, it could be coming in 21, but it's just like cool how now 4 years later it's still happening, and he was talking about like putting an end to it way back like in 2017.
Sure, yeah,
so it is interesting.
He couldn't put it down.
So,
Couldn't quit.
no. All right. Go ahead, Gavin.
Chapter 282. Many blessings in the coming year.
Hey.
It is. You don't wait.
TL.
Oh, TL.
Yeah, that's
Then eat it on Discord. Okay. So it just happens that I start the new year 2018 with my manhwa. I'm writing this postscript in hopes that this is going to be a good start. Everyone, Happy New Year. It's quite noisy outside right now.
Hey, quiet down.
Yeah. He's like, hey, my wrist hurt. I'm
everybody
all right.
be happy and prosper.
Yeah.
Hey, give it down.
I gotta close the windows when I'm recording. New York don't know to be quiet.
Kuhn's nemesis has appeared. She calls him brother, so it looks like she is a member of his family. But when it comes to using a knife, she seems to be more skillful than Kuhn. If all things go according to plan, I think I will go into every nook and cranny of the Kuhn family story in the future. But it will be difficult to do it all at once, so there will be little bits of it every now and then. Since the Hidden Floor's main focus is the past, the main story for regulars, Idan, and any other characters will also be from the past as well. It's 2018 now. When I first began Tower of God, I had never expected that I would keep it up for this long, but looks like the day actually came. Working on manhwa feels so good some days, but then on other days it can feel dreadful. Looking back at it, it all looks like more than what I deserved and just miraculous. Anyway, my current goal would be to become an author who can say, hi, blank, to you in 2019 as well. In the beginning of the next year, the legendary physical edition might come. I will try to come back with a fun webtoon as always next week. Maybe we will learn the fate of blank. The fate. Oh, is that just spaces?
It's just
the
spaces.
fate of
Yeah,
Kuhn who has collapsed.
Got him.
Yeah, I was so confused. I was like, why? Like they had to be put there for a reason. Never mind.
Damn, that's crazy.
All right.
Damn.
And I did hear, I don't know what, I don't know, as of this recording of this video, that it was announced that like hardcover copies of Tower of God did get approved for publication somewhere. Don't remember where. I just know that it wasn't the US because, of course, fuck us. But that's something.
Wait, of more recent?
What do you mean?
Like is this a recent thing? that they're
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
published?
yeah. Like I heard about this like a few
Well, it's
weeks
just
ago.
interesting. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get them published, and this was what 2018, so it's like, all right, just took an extra.
Yeah,
3
Well,
months.
that's
Taping
yeah.
them,
I
yeah.
mean, publication stories are like that, where it's like,
Oh, yeah.
we'll get it done this year. 4 years later, it
Yeah.
comes out like
Yeah.
companies and all that red tape shit.
Yeah. All right. Chapter 283. Who is this?
That
that
Oh, is that
Candy?
Bomb? And then this is him at his computer desk?
Oh, yeah. That's
Wait. Who?
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's
It's
hilarious.
like working.
All right.
That's funny.
All right. So it says, I still cannot accept the fact that I'm 33 years old now. I should hurry and make a plan to move to a town somewhere in the Mediterranean area and go back to being 31 years old again. It probably won't happen because I have no money, lol. Anyway, I hope only good things will happen this year. Now, I too have come to an age where I need to worry about the future. It's sad and scary, but it's okay. You got this.
I don't know.
He's got it. Well, Kuhn somehow survived again. It's difficult to draw him, so how long is he planning to live?
Whoa.
It's a new year, not a new you, bitch.
Whoa.
You better keep it going.
First off, I know we're all just saying stuff we don't necessarily mean. Let's just relax, okay? A lot of things are
Wow, I
being-
thought Rack got the treatment there. He's like, yeah, Rack. He's like, Kuhn.
I just love that this man, and like, yeah, I get it. He's like, his wrist is hurting and stuff. But like, any character that like it just gets a little too complicated, he's like, who knows how long to be alive? It's like, whoa.
Well, to be fair, he goes, I'm joking. Love my little bastard.
Love you, my
With a
little
kissy bastard.
Yeah, what kind of...
The sworn,
savage.
yeah, right. The sworn. He's like, I have the power of God. The sworn enemy is determined by one's image of that sworn enemy according to the system. So if someone thinks my sworn enemy was better skilled with a knife than I am, it is safe to assume that it will be exactly reflected on the sworn enemy. I like Kuhn's sworn enemy because she is fun to draw. It's kind of like dual personality too, so that's interesting. So if Kuhn, if I'm reading this correctly, if Kuhn had actually believed that she wasn't a better swordsman or with a blade than he was, then it wouldn't necessarily be reflected. It's just that his image of her is that she's better than me. So
the data versions are like distorted versions of whoever it is. It's
interesting.
It's not them.
So you got to believe in yourself. Crazy.
The power of love.
Yeah, right? There's been a lot of plot foreshadowing because of the long-term characteristic of the work. Whether the things that were foreshadowed will happen immediately or take a very long time to happen is hard to say. For this episode, I made the world and planned the conflict, climax, and resolution. So, in terms of being complete, the episode might be better than previous episodes. The volume of the episode itself can be quite extended with this kind of process. I think these long-term episodes are too risky of a gamble considering the rapidly changing world of the webtoon, but I still can try. Jahad's data, which had only been showing the back of his head, has finally started to move. Depending on how you look at it, this can be the beginning of the Hidden Floor's main story. There are still many important and interesting stories left, so please look forward to them. SIU.
I will say really quick, that is something that I've loved about the Hidden Floor arc so far, is that when we started it, the whole thing was from Gustang, right? Where he's like, go get this thing from me on the Hidden Floor and I'll give you this piece of the thorn. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, no matter what we see on the Hidden Floor, like, we can't lose focus that, like, Jahad, that's the goal here. We got to meet him. We got to get whatever this thing is because that's the goal. But, like, now that we've retched him, I would argue there's so many more interesting stories, at least in my mind, that I'm curious about, like, getting the full thing of, aside from Jahad. Like, not even, and that's cool.
Yeah. All right. Take it away, Isaiah.
All right. Chapter 284. Today I wear this. Is that Jahad?
God damn it.
Love it. Oh, this is amazing.
Oh, man. Are those just different variations of the of the mask?
Yeah, it looks like different hairs, too, like hairstyles on them. That's hilarious.
That's so cool. The drawing is of someone who has appeared this week, Data Jahad. I have decided to cover up his face from the very beginning. At first, I was planning to just digitalize his face, since he's Data, but then there would be a problem with editing and it wouldn't look good, so I changed it to the mask instead. It'd be nice if the design for the mask was based on the 3 red eyes and makes Jahad wear goggles like Horrors. I don't know who that is.
Joe.
What that is. That's that was what was inside my head. So it turned into the current design. I'm not sure if you'll like it, but I quite like it myself. I do like it.
I do too. Gavin doesn't like it, but that's okay.
For Data Jahad, rather than making his first impression overwhelming or something like that, it was more like, he actually feels kind of similar, but is he really a great person? Anyway, even though outside Jahad is an overwhelming being himself, I tried to avoid portraying Data Jahad in that way. For current Data Jahad, I wanted him to be less of someone who was extraordinary from the beginning or when he entered the tower, to more of just a traveler called Jahad who used to be full of potential and is now on his way to becoming someone extraordinary. And during that process, you can feel he is having mixed feelings such as confusion or fear. I hope I can draw him that way. By no means was Jahad a late bloomer. Jahad and the 10 house heads were all geniuses with great talents. About the shown past of the characters, they might provide clues to future episodes, since the characters will grow both inwardly and outwardly as they climb the tower. Maybe I gave you hints about what will happen in the future. I think that way. This week's postscript turned somewhat wordy, and I always regret writing wordy things, but I feel like it just ends up long when I'm writing. I might need to hold myself back. Recently, one of my organs was found to be bad, so I'm getting a medical examination. Lack of exercise is bad in various ways. I had been quite healthy before. Anyway, becoming healthy is this year's goal for me. Maybe I need to get some personal training.
Yeah. That's rough, dude. Like, it's bad. Like, your body will just, it doesn't function correctly. Like, you got to do something. At least if it's like 1, 2, 3 times a week, even if it's just like walking, like seriously, especially with him.
meals or like whatever. Just something.
Yeah, get some sunlight and walk around if at bare minimum. If you could do anything. I mean, obviously he's in a way more stringent scenario, but I mean, even I can relate we can relate in the sense of what we do. It's like we're talking a lot, we're animated, and we're walking back and forth to X computers in the meantime, but like it's a lot of editing, a lot of sitting, things like that. So even on a base level, I understand that. But for him especially, he's probably alone for most of the time. He's on that computer screen. He's just sitting there for just hours and hours on end.
Pulling a lot of like all-nighters and like to meet deadlines.
Yeah,
and
man.
Draw various
Your body will
designs and
literally
shit.
start failing on you.
Yeah.
Like it can't cope with that for too long.
Trick is to just get in and out of bed 30 times. There you go. Just kind of get up,
All right.
stand, get back in, get up, get back in, take a little
basically
nap,
like a
get back up, get back
crunch,
in.
right?
Yeah, close enough.
Kind of.
Just do something. Oh man. Anyway, Gavin, I think, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Chapter 285. We got our boy.
Oh, beautiful boy.
Today's drawing is Edon and Jahad's data. Some people say, why are you making drawings for posts when you are in bad shape? Kind of valiant quote. Compared to how long ToG has been publishing, there isn't much merchandise to buy, so I feel bad about it. And I try to show various portrayals of the characters in the postscripts at least. That's why I receive requests. I try to find other ways, but things just do not work out like the way I want them to. I hope that someday in the future, others can learn about a manhwa called The Tower of God, and they can be with their favorite characters anytime and anywhere. This episode, maybe it's because he's wearing the President Pororo's mask, but Data Jahad is indeed strong. Readers who have read today's episode probably have noticed, but gold is his signature color, like silver, and white is like silver and white is to Aries, and blue is to Coons. It will be revealed in the future. But these colors have close relationships to the shinsu that each households use. For hair color, the case may or may not apply. Anyway, despite his playful appearance, Jahad has
Beat up a kid.
Yeah, Jahad has beat up a kid. What?
Bomb.
Oh, geez, I was like, what? Bam is indeed a bold person, since as soon as he meets Data Jahad, he messes with the most delicate part.
Yeah,
of
that
him.
was
Interesting.
It was a little savage. I'm not gonna lie. He literally said, "What's your name, Jahad or Arlene?"
Yeah.
Like, damn.
And he
water
paid
wasn't
for,
even
he
cold.
paid for it, bro. He almost got all of his companions killed and himself killed if it wasn't for, Kun Edon coming down and
coming in clutch.
playing Jahad's ego like a fiddle. You know what I mean? Like if Jahad was like a little more just like, no, I don't have to go with that, would have annihilated him and everyone for that comment. So that was sketchy.
Went out of savage.
He would have went out of savage, but he would have
He's
went
like
out.
about to die, and he's like, "Yeah, Arlene said, fuck you." Goes out like a boss.
My mom said your mask looked dumb.
Oh my god.
Just dies.
I guess she was right.
Y'all are crazy.
Journey ends.
Well, as a result, he is beat up quite badly in this episode. Bam should grow up fast to become someone similar to the 10 house heads. It looks like there will be Data Edon in the next episode. Whether Data Edon becomes Team Bam's savior or Data Jahad gets to know Bam's identity, I hope you can look forward to the next episode. See you next week.
So he said it too. All right.
Absolutely love it.
Chapter 286. We got a
I love
little
this.
devil horns there. Rack, bro, with his little club. Love it. This episode looks like 10 house heads were overwhelmingly strong since they were young. Edon is like Rand's ultimate form. There is a saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Edon is using electricity with no limitations at all. Looks like if you live in Edon's country, you don't need to worry about the electricity bill during the summer. Wow, that's useful, huh? Actually, the Edon who became one of the 10 house heads outside the hidden floor did have an instance where he covered the capital with lightning generating storm clouds. Wow.
All right, like that's kind of busted.
For Jahad, he seems to be using lots of gold-colored Shinsu attacks. The gold in the name of Jahad's attack is similar to the gold in our world, but a different metal. You can think of it as gold that is unbreakable like diamond. wow, that's really relevant considering gold, all things considered, in the real world actually isn't one of the best things to, do for that. It's not like they're making...
No, it's very brittle.
Yeah, it's really brittle. So, regarding the black hole sphere in the beginning, I think I can tell you what it is really in someday. It really is someday, sorry. The manuscript was quite long, so I was thinking whether to divide this battle scene into 2 weeks of episodes, or just getting it done within 1 week, and I chose to get it done within 1 week and proceed with the subsequent content faster since there is a long way to go. We already knew it was going to be that decision. Anyway, it looks like Data Jahad and Bomb's first encounter is ending. I wonder when he will get to meet with the outside Jahad. You know when he's going to meet him. Don't lie to me. Personally, my wrist suddenly gets worse during the weekends. I don't notice it while working, and so it often becomes swollen after I'm finished with it on the due dates. This time, it's lasting longer than usual. I'm having lots of concerns because I'm in bad shape from the cold as well. So many ordeals these days, I guess. This is usual, but since I am in a delicate state, I will write an announcement right away if there's any change. So, everyone, I firmly wish for you to take care. I will be back together with Bomb, whom I will worry for after this 1 month has passed. SIU. So we have mods who worked on this week's blog post were 100%
Again.
sorry. Thank you so much.
You're a queen.
Yes.
I just want to add, he literally started with, it's going to be a new year. We're going to start with happiness, no pain, and health. And I was like, I give it 1 or 2 blog posts before it's back to the same old SIU. And dog, that was one of the most depressing ones that we read all day today.
You would be. We've been reading these for too long to be naive and be like, you know what? I think he's right. This is it. This is going to turn it around.
That is literally the start of everyone's new year. It's like you get out and you're like, know what?
Yeah.
It was a bad year last year. We're going to just start it off fresh, roaring. We're going to be good. And then, fucking...
Yeah, man.
The other thing is, and I feel like this, because I feel like it all does circle back and it could contribute, is like, he's like, there's not a whole lot of Tower of God merchandise, right? So like, that's part of why he feels like compelled in a sense to do the pictures with the blog post to give fans something. I don't know like what the, complications or all the intricacies are of like getting your property to like, become merch, or like if you had I don't know what that is, but like, oh, man, I wish he would do that. Cause I feel like it would give him more money to like, so he doesn't like, cause then he doesn't have to like worry about doing, cause maybe he could hire more assistants then, or like, whatever. And I also want Tower of God merch. So like, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
We're like, if he didn't sue us if we made some, that'd be dope.
But then we'd get all the money, and he wouldn't get
that would
any
defeat
more.
Bro, I'd throw him money. I don't care. I'm just saying, let us make some merch.
Gavin's like,
dog.
give us the rights to your
Exactly.
work, and then we'll give you some of the money. Yeah, you're welcome, by the way.
Well, royalties, that's how it would work in general. But
I know, just busting.
I
It's
don't
just
know.
funny. The way
All I'm
but-
saying is obviously he doesn't have the time to do the work, so then just delegate the work.
Dude, Teespring. Easiest
Well,
shit
I
ever.
don't know if it's like he doesn't, because that's the thing. I don't know if it's like he doesn't have the time, because I think it might be a thing of like if he might have to like sign a contract or something with a company, giving them like partial, and maybe he's just super hesitant. To
There's
give.
got to be some sort of
Yeah.
hang-up
That's what
with
I mean.
that.
Yeah.
That or it could be like a South Korean thing. Like it's just not as easy as like, or it's not
Potentially.
accessible as it is here.
No,
in the
that's true.
States, you
That-
know?
that could-
I don't know.
Yeah, there could be something, but I mean, even just some rudimentary thing, I could.
I don't know.
Yeah.
you
Because
know.
I think about like, if you think about like anime, I mean, that's one of the most marketable things that has ever been, and like, an anime comes out and there's merch for it the next week. So I feel like, I don't know if like, I feel like it's got to be something. Maybe he's just again like he's a little bit hesitant to like
Sure.
put that on that, because I think again it's one thing once you're like, oh yeah, make a shirt or whatever, but if it's like if you're giving a company like rights to like, I don't know, I feel like just from you know what I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like he's a little like he's like, I don't know if I want to go that far, because like
Sure.
maybe it's
Interesting. I'll tell you what, though. If there is one thing that anyone should learn from these blog posts, beyond just all the amazing information that he gives us about the story of Tower of God, it is when he says at the end, because he says it almost every time, or every time at the end, he says, I firmly wish for you to take care. Or he says, stay happy, stay healthy, etc. Take that seriously, because he's like, I know it sounds like repeatable, you know what I mean? Like every time he says it, and it's just like, okay, take it, take care, be happy, whatever, and then you go on to the next blog post or whatever. But like, the man is screaming to you, like it's like serious. Like the man is screaming to you to take care of yourself mentally, physically, to do things, that are going to put you in less stressful situations, needlessly stressful situations. I want to stress that. Just in general and stuff like that, because this is someone like firsthand who is just putting in absolutely every ounce of his
Maybe
soul.
you should listen to his own fucking word every once in a while.
Yeah, well, that's the irony, right?
Yeah,
That's the irony is that like
yeah.
he clearly has an addiction to this, which isn't necessarily bad. I know that term is associated with negativity a lot of times, but like he's very passionate, I guess would be a way of sugarcoating that. And so for him to even take his own thing, but it's like he's like trying to scream out to other people like, hey, I can't do this myself. Like I have an issue. Like do it for yourself.
Well, and I
you
mean,
know?
like
So-
you usually are like your own. Like you, I feel like people are their own exceptions to like the things they say. You know,
Sure.
like the whole method of like practice what you preach.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
most people kind of, I think themselves a little bit more durable than others. So like you turn to somebody and be like, you should take care of yourself and rest well.
Yeah.
But like then you're gonna go pull an all nighter.
Sure,
and, like,
sure.
Like most people think that like. They're the exception to these
Yeah,
rules, so it's
exactly.
ironic, sure, but it's like he's not the only person
Sure.
that I know of. Even that's it's-
Interesting stuff. I mean,
I'm just saying, I'm going to take out his kneecaps if he doesn't. So.
All right, well, there it is.
there goes Gavin's kneecap thing again.
I had to say it once. It's been a while. I was on a rant about it
God
today. I
forbid
had
we don't
to.
threaten his kneecaps at least once a week.
Hey, I'm not going for his wrist. As long as he can write, I think he'll be happy. I'm just saying.
You're wild, bro. Anyway, folks, that is our read through of today's blog post. Again, huge shout out to our moderators in our Discord and for our YouTube channel that put their heads together to make these things for us so we could create more content for you guys to enjoy. Really goes a long way, and we really couldn't do a lot of the things that we do without your help. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. But if you guys enjoyed the content today, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, hitting that notification bell, sharing with your friends, commenting your thoughts down below. What did you think of today's read-through? What did you think of these blog post chapters? What are you doing to stay healthy, especially with this new year coming up and COVID kind of taking over the world as it's done for basically the past year? Let us know in those comments down below, what you are doing. And if you made it to the end of this video, type in Sari, if I'm pronouncing it right, Sari, Sarai, and then tell us your comment, and who knows, maybe I'll read it, or we'll read it on the next blog post. But anyway, until next time, we love your faces, and we'll catch you on the flip. Peace.
Peace, 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 peace.
Ninjas are samurais, blazing the cool knives. Find me in the leaf of the cloud, screaming out Bankai. We just some ghouls though, who like seeing parts fly.